Alright, hello there. So here's the cockpit instrument panel. Pretty much finished. With decals on, gun sight installed. Now let's just go through some of the components of the instrument panel for those of you who are interested. So, what have we got here? Let me see. We have got quite a number of dials and what have you, which provide flight information to the pilot, of course. So we have here, this one here is the compass repeater. So this part will tell the pilot whether they're flying north, south, east or west. Here, this large one here is the, well, should be the artificial horizon, but now that I look at it, it's in fact got the symbol of a plane, which is in fact what should be the compass repeater. So I think that's a bit of an error in the decals of the 109. So I've just noticed that now. So that actually should not look exactly like that. That's the, like I say, should be the artificial horizon. Anyway, moving on. Down here we have the altimeter. Then across to here would be the airspeed indicator. Then across over to here is the RPM gauge. And here is the prop pitch indicator. What else do we have? Oops. So, see if I can get a bit of a better focus here. Maybe not any better. So here we have the fuel and oil pressure gauge there, and that's the fuel gauge there, which indicates how much fuel is left. This one here is the coolant and oil temperature gauge there. Up here is the clock. Over here is the ammunition indicators, which shows how much ammunition is in the guns, which is quite advanced for that time, I think, in terms of so the pilots in some planes, like the Mustang, didn't have any. It had no idea really. They had to guess how much they had left. Here now, I think these are the magneto switches for the first and second magneto for engine to start the engine up. Over here we have the power off button, so that's the kill switch for the electrics. We have a number of little handles that I've installed, which I'll show you in another angle soon. So over here, this one is the emergency undercarriage lever. Then we have, oh, fascinating stuff, isn't it? Over here we have, now I think this one is the, this one here would be the plug cleaner handle. Quite sure what that does. Over here, now according to my guide, that one is in fact a tropical filter open close handle, which it wouldn't be in this particular one, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Here is the undercarriage indicators. Actually, yes, so that should be them. Then over here we just have some sort of holes in the instrument panel, which just would probably go through. There's nothing actually mounted in there. Then yeah, that's pretty much the main parts. Now all assembled, painted. This is the gun sight. So that would be probably the Revy C12D gun sight, or very similar. If I move this around, you'll be able to see it on the side, like so. So we had two little reflector glasses here. We have this one, which is the main one, which would project up the targeting reticle, and then behind it, what I've painted with a very thin layer of heavily washed down sort of olive drab, it was another transparent one, but this is actually the one that the pilot would flip up if the sun was shining through, just to sort of there's a little bit of a shade for the gun sight glass, because if the full sun is belting through there, that's far too bright. But he'd flip that up and you get a bit of extra shading. So I've done a little bit of extra painting there, and I've painted that's the sort of the handle which would go up, and that's just the front of the mechanism there. So that's now all mounted in. As you can see, here are the little dial handles there that have been put in. The light's not the greatest, but there we are. And yeah, so now it's mounted in the housing, and it's pretty much ready to go into the rest of the cockpit. Now if I show you where I am with the rest of the cockpit, here we have where I am. So this is all old hat, nothing really new there. All I've done for this part is mount in the front sort of bulkhead, for want of a better word, which has just gone into this front section here over the cannon. So this will be part of the base of the engine, sort of mounting in here, and the cannon will continue to go through there, through the propeller. So that's a quick update of where I am with the cockpit. So it's coming along well, and very soon all of this stuff will be coming together. The instrument panel, which will go essentially in around about this spot here, once the various other bits are together and are ready to go in. So I've done a little bit more weathering around here, and a little bit more chipping, chip on the paintwork in the cockpit. So yeah, anyway, that's where I'm at. A little bit more painting and touching up there where I've just glued them together, but that's where we're up to. And as you can see, we're up to video, I think this is number, correct me if I'm wrong, could be number 10. And we have gotten to just this first part, first half of the first panel of the instructions for putting this thing together. So, but there is a lot of detail that goes into the cockpit. Not to say there isn't detail that goes into other parts, but the cockpit is a very intricate part with lots of, as you have seen, little bits and pieces. So I'm pretty happy with the way the instrument panels turned out. There's a few other things I might have done differently. What would I have done differently? Well, maybe more care with the dials, and also don't know whether I would actually put the whole decal on in future. I think I'm pretty happy with the punching out the individual dials and putting them on like that. Just need a bit more practice and a bit more care, but for the first time having a go at that technique, I think I can recommend it. For those of you who are watching this, one of my 5 subscribers, so yeah, so if you're thinking about it, it's a way to go. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.